Just go to your room, buddy. Why do you keep looking at me?
Good afternoon or good evening. I know this is just a kick on. Hey Dawn, hey Diane at Just Acres. Hey Rehab Life. How are y'all doing?
We have to moderate ourselves.
Hey Rebecca Stanley, how are you doing? Yeah, we were actually pretty easy to get on tonight. We didn't kill ourselves. I didn't have to work too much outside.
Well, it needed it, but
I woke up above the dirt. That's absolutely. McLeod, how are you? Marie's Vegetable Garden, how are y'all doing? We'll give everybody a second to get on. Hey PA Swarm King, Little Feet, how are y'all doing? So tell us about your day.
my day was good. It was easy. Today was easy. Yeah. We had 4 extra kids, but when cousins come, the other kids are entertained by the cousins, so I don't have to entertain them. It's okay, baby. Just go put your movie on.
Well, we actually have a good video coming out tomorrow. It's about the storm and just some things happening with the storm. So it's a great video. We got some new things coming too. So you'll see that in that video. It's actually a little bit longer video than typical. It's about 13 or 14 minutes. So it will be coming out tomorrow. So look forward to that. It actually is a really good video. Hey, Miss Vicky, how are you doing?
Yeah, I won't say that we personally had a lot of damage, but it did get pretty bad in our area. We had a huge
Thanks, Rehab Life.
Hey,
BW,
power outage in our area for extended days.
We had some damage at the big barn, some of our cows and things like that. So y'all see that tomorrow. And then, of course, like I said, a new thing. So it's always fun to see that coming. So Simply Southern Roots, what's going on? So we're sick of hurricane season. So we're ready for it to be over. One good thing about it is that we've got great grass because we hadn't had any drought. Hey, Stacy, how are you? So we're usually this time of year, we're actually just dry, dead grass. So we've actually had grass. So that's been really good for the sheep and for the cows.
Harley.
But I'll be honest with you, hurricanes, I'm about sick of them. So
hurricane is why I left Florida.
Yeah, we what's so crazy is we're not, we're about 2.5 hours above the water from anywhere, from either our Mississippi coast or either from New Orleans area. But man, it's like we've been slammed with a lot of rains. Not nearly as bad as South Louisiana. We're definitely not anything like them, but just the crazy amounts of rains and floodings we've had. Do you use standing hay? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. We just do round bales, unfertilized hay. We do not leave it all the time, and we move our hay too with our cows. So our cows always keep the same hay until they eat it all because it costs too much to deal with. Hey, Amy Wall, Jennifer Heenan, how are y'all? Copper Kettle Farms, just trying to say hey to everybody. Yes, we've had a lot of hurricanes in this area this year.
I would say this past one probably affected us more than any of them.
Hey,
or the past 2. Because Sally, we got a lot of flooding. Y'all saw the rain and the animal issues that we had because of the tremendous amount of rain that we got in such a short period of time. And then this past storm, there was lots of wind issues. There was major power outages in our area for multiple days. So,
yeah, there's actually still some people out of power in our area, not on us, not on our energy line, but on another one. So
yeah, Stacey says this past one was pretty rough. It was definitely.
Thank you, Rehab Life.
Probably I would say impacted. Now Sally impacted us the most because we live in a low-lying area anyway, and so the amounts of rain that we got just with already on being in a low area was just not good for us. But I don't think anybody else had any issues except for with this past one, like we were saying, lots and lots of wind damage.
Hey, Ivy Acres.
Lots and lots of trees down. We had several trees down at our home too, but none on power lines or our property as far as our building structure. So
I'm
we're
sorry.
very thankful for that.
I'm sorry, BW. I fully misunderstood what you were saying. Yes, we do stockpile. So we cut a good bit of it this year on the backside, and we still have green grass growing, and we have one section that cows have not even been on yet. So, or sheep, because sheep will actually stockpile too. So, we have two paddocks that we are having hay in right now, and you'll see a video of why that is tomorrow for one of them. So if y'all can watch that we have hay in one paddock. And other than that, we pretty much let them move around. So we still have green grass right now. Our bull. We've been kind of keeping our bull by itself, letting him just chill out because we hadn't really figured out what we're going to do with one of our bulls. So he's calm, cool, and collected, but we've just kind of let him be for right now and put him in a far off paddock, and he's got grass for days. So he probably won't actually need hay for months, to be honest with you. So he's kind of by himself. He's not with our group right now. If we could get, we could have got 3 cuttings for sure this year on 2 of our properties, but we let the sheep graze it for the first cutting, basically. Let's see.
Were you
hey, Sweet
kids
Pea, how are
raised
you?
on a farm or a ranch?
We were not. In South Mississippi, it's common for everybody to have gardens. I mean, gardens are common.
And chickens.
Yeah, chickens. Chickens are pretty common too. You can pretty much pick up yard eggs just about anywhere you go on any road. And you're going to see gardens in the springtime. You'll see gardens just really about everywhere. But that's probably about it. Nothing to the extent that we're actually doing now.
So to answer your question, no, we were not raised on a farm. Neither one of us are raised on a farm. I thought I saw one more question. Did you say hey to Sweet Pea Farm, New York?
I did.
Thank you for joining us. I thought I saw one more question, but
hey, 4 kids in a farm.
I can't find it.
Little feed a farm. So 2 AI later, Flossie is still not pregnant, so we're leaving to our 7-month-old bull to get it done in a few months. Yeah, he'll need to be a little older. That's the only thing about AI, unless you have somebody that's very good at AI and also that you're using 2 or 3 straws and having a bull close to them, putting them in heat, that will do it. Now, a 7-month-old bull may not be able to breed the cow, but what it could do is put her in heat. So if you're still trying to AI your cow, keep that bull with her, and sometimes that'll put her in a quick heat, and that's a good thing too.
I remember what I was going to ask. On the upcoming video, do you have our new news in there?
Oh yeah, we have a roller coaster news of this new video, so I think y'all enjoy it. Henry's Honeys, how are you? Hidden Oaks Homestead, how are y'all doing? Florida Panhandle, awesome. Congrats on having beautiful weather down there. I wish we lived in the Florida Panhandle.
Did I miss something? Rehab Life said, Misty, but you do it so well. Do you mean farming? Did I miss something?
Probably farming. I don't know. Yeah, so we've enjoyed having good. It was so funny. This is our best year to get more hay put up for both sets of cows, and we still have good green grass. So we're at a very good spot right now. With us having a steer leave, then we sold Beauty. Elsa had to go, so we're actually better. We have more hay than we had last year,
and less
cows on this property. So it's kind of unique to do that.
Thank you, Miss Rebecca. Most of this piece, and all of those pieces were Colby's grandmother's, and these dishes down here.
We have a lot of milk glass.
Yes, but most of it was handed down from his grandmother. I have some pieces from my grandmother. They're not white milk glass. They are, what was the Harvest Gold?
Harvest Gold.
And so we're very thankful to have those pieces because it does remind us of our grandparents. And I do use some of those dishes sometimes for showers and stuff. So it's nice to have those really pretty antique pieces.
Hey, Henry's Honeys, we're having some cooler weather this last few days, so we've really enjoyed it. It's actually this morning. It was very nice, very nice. For Kids and Farm, to be honest with you, we don't actually bale ours. We actually contract our baling out. If you're a bigger farm, of course, like VW, some of the ones on here, it can benefit. For us, it makes more sense for us to have the land and have the leases, or either have the place where we have unfertilized hay to where we can get it baled, and it's actually a little bit cheaper on us to bale it, get them to bale it versus us baling it ourselves. Unless we pick up another lease, or unless we pick up some people that buy some unfertilized hay from us, it would be hard for us to justify baling our own.
Ivy Farms, to answer your Ivy Acres, I'm sorry, to answer your question, I prefer the cold process soap making.
Thank you, Douglas.
And that's what one of my favorite things to do is to make soap. I have made almost 750 bars of soap, and I started mid-September, and have been making until I think up to like last week. And those are curing. With the hot process, it's been my understanding, I've never used hot process, but it's been my understanding that like within 24, 48 hours, you can use hot process soap. With cold process, it is a long cure time. I usually allow mine 4 to 8 weeks, and a lot of factors depend on that. It depends on humidity, just all kind of where you have the soap stored, if there's good airflow in the room, just a lot of different factors. So mine are all in an extra room,
a dark room with coolness.
And yeah, so they'll sit up there. I checked them the other day. The first sets are beginning to get harder, and the sets that I added, my last batches, are still a little spongy. But I will not start taking my soap orders until the 1st of November. And I will start sending those out the first week of December, unless somebody needs them before. That's just like they're using their soap. Like I have a lady called me the other day, and she said, "I'm on my last bar. Can I please run by and get some?" So yes, absolutely. Because I had some still left from spring, so I'll get her fixed up and all of that. But as far as Christmas present goes, teacher presents go, happy stocking stuffers, stuff like that people just love, and they want those for Christmas items. So they have from when I made them until the first week of December to cure out. That is kind of the downside to it, as the curing time is so long. But once they get as hard as they get, the longer they can cure, the harder they get, the longer they last.
4 Kids at the Farm, I'd say the first time Misty did it, it might have been a 6 or 7. Now it's probably a 1 or 2.
Sure.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is soap making?
Oh,
Misty can roll with it right now.
Yeah, when I first started, there are things that you need to know, like be cautious of when you're handling the lye. You need to know what trace means. There is some terminology when you're doing soap too that will make things easier. Like exact temperature and exact measurement. Like I'm the kind of person, when I make biscuits or pancakes or whatever, I just wing it. I throw it all together and just wing it. I don't measure anything. But when it comes to soap, I mean, down to the point, and you cannot get off on measuring. Temperature is a huge thing. Like you have to blend when your temperatures are certain. Anyway, the video that I made, I have told a lot of people how to make soap, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool because I didn't ever think that I would be a soap teacher, but I have taught a lot of people how to make soap. And
we really like it too. I mean, we really enjoy using it. How long have we made soap now?
For about 5 or 6 years now. But I have been making 8 pounds of soap every day for the past 2 or 3 weeks to get my 750 bars that I'll be selling for Christmas.
You'll walk in that room. That room's about 400 or 500.
Sam.
Well, it's about 300 and something square foot.
I think y'all got peppermint for me, if I'm not mistaken. I really like peppermint.
When you walk in there, and that's where we have our workout stuff and storage, but you walk in there, it almost just takes your breath away. It's just so much soap. Yeah. So, Nadine Swanson, welcome. Thank you for coming on. Cindy, I am exhausted. It's been a long day. Some days you just have long days. But I will say this: when my cows are
Thank
back
you.
around to the
Thank
milking
you,
side,
Kim.
our cows are back at the stanchion area, the dairy area, and not having to go way across the farm. It's so nice. I walk out, and my cows are literally sitting at the stanchion waiting on me. So it is absolutely nice. So that's a great way to start the day.
Use cow. I do not use cow milk or goat milk at all in my soap. I use coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, essential oil, oatmeal, and water and lye.
We do an old
solution.
school lye soap.
Yes. So no goat milk or cow's milk in the soap recipe. And I'm a huge fan of the soap. And I have began typing up a benefit thing. One of the things that I used to have to use moisturizers like when I was using store-bought soap, because the store-bought soap has chemical properties in it that naturally strip your skin, strip your natural oils. And so you have to replace those oils with moisturizers, which I had for years. Since I have made my own soap, I have to use moisturizer in the winter because I naturally have extremely dry skin. But when I'm using my soap, especially in the spring and the summer and the fall, I don't have to use moisturizers like at all. Just in the harsh winter. But with the store bought, like I said, it strips your natural oil, so you're having to replace those. That's why you have dry, cracky, ashy skin, as some people would say, because you're having to replace those oils back on your skin. I think
oatmeal scrub is phenomenal. That's what makes it. It's so nice. That's what the best part of it is.
Oatmeal is good for your skin naturally, but it also creates a textured soap, which is a natural exfoliant.
Absolutely.
So not only are you using that oatmeal on your skin, but it's also exfoliating your skin. Honey, I used honey for years, and I like the property of honey, but you have to be careful when you're using honey because it excels your temperature.
Changes it.
So when you're messing with honey in your soap, because your oils and your lyes have to reach a certain temperature, and then when you mix them and blend them together, it creates the saponification process. And then when you add honey to that, it will excel your temperature. So you have to really know what you're doing when you start messing with honey in your soap. How long have you been making? About 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. It's phenomenal. Stepping back in time, Kentucky. Hey man, how are you doing?
Yes, Sam. So Sam, I don't know if this is Sam or Becky that's on. It doesn't take much when you use Misty soap. The lather is really amazing. So that's what you mean by that. Is it doesn't take much. The lather is so.
It's so cool because you'll use the peppermint and it gives you a cooler exfoliant. It almost reminds you of it's like cooling your skin. But then like her lemongrass really suds up really well. So you're able. Our soaps all look alike. We ain't got into blues and purples and pinks. Are all natural.
I don't do any of the mineral
dyeing. So it's kind of unique because you take every soap and every soap has a different smell to it. Every soap has a different the way it works on your skin. It's really phenomenal. We absolutely love it. Yeah, that's a big word. Saponification.
Yeah. Yes, and that basically is the process of oils and lye mixing together to make soap. So that's all saponification means is you're using oils, a blend of oils and lye, and you're mixing them together to make soap. And the process is called saponification.
Thank you, little feet. What's so unique is too is like honey. We have so much honey. And we use it to cook, but we have so much that we literally could use it in all our soap and still have tons of honey. But we just realized it didn't really do much for it.
Kim, you're not the only person that has said that. I've had many other ladies say,
nobody's allowed to use my soap.
Don't use my soap. That's my soap.
Stepping back in time, we need to harvest our lemongrass before frost date. We had some gorgeous lemongrass by the bees not too long ago, and we didn't get to it before before the freeze.
Well, actually,
hey, Phyllis,
that's been about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
because I bought a distilling kit and actually wanted to learn how to distill my
it
own
looks
oils.
like moonshine. It really looks like you're doing this big moonshine.
It's like a big chemistry set, and it's really cool. But as soon as we got it, I found out I was pregnant with Jennings, and I thought, well, I didn't take chemistry in school, so I don't know that I want to be experimenting with things that could like explode in my face when I'm pregnant. So I never learned how to use it. I actually still have it. It's really cool. One day I'm going to get there though.
Tiffany Taylor, we have a video on our soap. Misty has a recipe that she has gotten from years and years and years ago, and that's what we use.
Yeah, Stacy on here she lives
Deborah,
about 30 or 45 minutes. She had bought several batches from me and taught herself through my video how to make soap for their family, and she does that now. And she's on here. She can attest to that.
I can only use liquid soap. Nadine Swanson, the way we make our liquid soap is how most people make their liquid soap. They use a base of a Castile soap, mix it with water, and you have liquid soap. That's what most people use.
Yeah. I need man soap. Peppermint, eucalyptus,
lang lang. It's a very masculine
and
smell.
lang lang is a more masculine smell. I actually really like that one too, though.
I do too. I like it a lot.
Those what would be what I would consider.
Did you say lemongrass?
Lemongrass, yeah. All of my kids' favorite, which I have to know have more girls. But Aiden, every time he comes in my bathroom, he wants to know where the orange stash is.
I like it too. It's refreshing.
It's so easy. Yeah, especially most people were probably like me, and most people have said the first time is when you're most hesitant because you don't know what to expect. You're worried with messing with the lye. But it's really, it's easy. It's not a hard process. You have to step up and learn what to do.
We've never tried cedar wood. We've seen that essential oil, but we've just never tried it. Actually, we have some. We just have never used it. Yeah, don't use the lemongrass during storm season. They might really like you, PA.
That's right.
Douglas, we're not against an online store. We actually have still got that in the works. One thing that we're working towards is taking our farm kind of to the next level of a basically this time next year, doing the actual pumpkin patch and the corn mazes and petting zoos and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to really try to take our farm to that level. And of course, one of our barns will become a little shop and online store that we'll be able to sell out of, but also to sell online with. But what's so cool is we're going to try to take 2 or 3 farmers in our area that do sell products and be able to put it in there too. So then it makes a one-stop shop for a CSA or for a pickup and makes it really nice. We've got a new entrance that y'all saw by the church where our hayfields are that we're really going to have a focus on next year for kind of a little small kid farm to kind of come in and play and have a good time.
Okay, and Tiffany, if you have any questions on the video, feel free to reach out to me on the video. Colby does usually most of the replying on the video stuff, but if you can find the Max Facebook page on, let's see, there's Facebook and there's a Homestead Hangout. If you can find us on the Facebook one, if you have any questions, feel free to just shoot me those questions and I can help you. Cedar wood is amazing for hair growth. Would be awesome in shampoo. And then what did I just say about tobacco and leather? I'm interested in doing a charcoal soap. So that is my next.
We actually have charcoal here.
That's my next goal is to research and experiment with a charcoal. I don't know if I would add essential oils to it or not. It's going to be something because I'm already curious to know if the charcoal and the lye are going to be compatible. Because the one thing with doing cold process soap making when you're dealing with the lye is you have to make sure that your ingredients are compatible with the lye. Some essential oils are not compatible, and therefore it changes the property and your soap will not turn out right. But charcoal is one of the ones even if it's just for our personal use, I want to make it and see. So that's next time I make soap, that's my goal is to try it.
Sweet Pea Farm, what's neat is here we can open Of course, we have liability on our farm anyway, but here we have our ponds. We will have the pumpkin patch. We actually do not have to get a permit for that. In Mississippi, it can be considered a cottage business or a cottage agricultural business.
Insurance is not a bad idea.
Well, we have liability on our farm, but we would, of course, see what the value is. I think it's $1 million or something, which is typical for liability. But it makes it hard when you have to worry about the zoning issues. We don't have the zoning issues right now. Now, I guess if we become a full-fledged yearly farm, it'd be different. But seasonal would not be an issue here in Mississippi.
I love tea tree. I use that in a lot of my
JC's,
soaps and my cleaning sprays. Tea tree is a must-have at my house. So a lot of people really like charcoal soap. That's really cool. I've never personally actually used it, but I've always been very interested in it. So I told Colby once I finished all of my Christmas batches that the next time I made soap, I was going to research and experiment with the charcoal-based soap. And I'll have to keep y'all posted on how that goes. I probably won't make until closer to the baby or maybe even right after the baby, but I do plan on trying it. I think that we would really like it.
Little Feet Homestead, have you checked with NRCS about the grants? We've not done them, but we know several people that's done the high tunnels through the NRCS. Actually, we have a guy who's working on fencing for us. It's not NRCS fence, but that's what he does, is actually build for NRCS.
Ivy Acres, find my video. You can do it. You can do it. Anybody can do it, but you do have to know what you're doing, but you can do it. It's not extremely complicated. You just need to know what you're doing. And I think I break down the details pretty well in the video.
I'm sleeping through it, but that's a tough video.
It's pretty funny. Colby keeps falling. We had a really bad night with a sick kid, and we were both extremely exhausted, but wanted to get the video out. And so we went on and made the video, but it was kind of like I don't know. It was hard to make. Video.
Mindful Homestead, I do not use beard oil. You're rocking a beard way more than I am. My little beard doesn't do hardly anything. I don't get it too long. It's funny because I told Misty, we'll let it get long. Probably the longest it's gotten is just when we were at Homesteaders America last year. But it just gets to a point where it's like, gosh, I just can't. I can't get any longer. So it starts really just itching me because my hair gets kind of curly as it gets longer. So, but you're rocking your beard.
I'm sure New York probably has a lot more regulations than South Mississippi does. We do have regulations, but I'm sure
not nearly as bad.
There are some states that are probably much more complicated than where we live.
Actually, since COVID, it's actually eased our regulations on agribusiness or farming or
things.
Sell, like how we're selling, like for instance, our pigs, our 2 pigs that are females. If they're not ready to have babies by this month, they will become pork. So they'll probably be pork shared because we really don't need it.
You're right there.
Mindful Homestead, yeah, congrats on 4K, man. Y'all are growing like crazy. We've like stagnated. I don't know what it is. We're just losing our coolness, I guess. We're just stagnated.
Working on a little something special here. Was just curious.
Yeah, man. Go with it.
Yeah, if we do have to take the others, we have nowhere.
We're going to sell pork shares
for them. But I will say that we have really, we've already started going through sausage like crazy. I made sausage and edamame, which was our food yesterday.
Mindful Homestead, I laughed because I said something to Hank about that too. I have 3 Kubotas on farm that I can do videos on, and we just never think about it. I know you have a Kubota video, but like I was on the one that I was like, I need to spend time to do a video on this, but I never do. The
piglets are great. I make 8 and count them every day because all of them are sold but 2. So they're doing great. They're growing. They stay right under their mama, which is every time I go down there, if she gets up and walks around, they're right behind her. I don't remember the other ones being
so funny.
I don't remember the other ones being quite so clingy to their mama, but I guess it's because the other pigs are in there with them and she was kind of by herself last time. but they like stay right under their mama. But they're growing and they look great.
And that's why we keep going back to thinking these other females are pregnant, because they're very protective of those piglets too. Like when the piglets are around, they kind of all huddle around both these three females. And I would think if they're not going to have babies, their hormones are not raging, and they really could care less. So again, we just keep holding on to hope that they'll have babies, because we really don't need more pork right now.
Mm-hmm.
I get fresh sausage from a local butcher, and 30 pounds lasts a couple of weeks. It's so good. For us, we eat so much food. Just like today, we've had, what'd y'all eat for breakfast?
Bacon and pancakes for breakfast.
So, you got bacon, and then turned around for, last night we had soup that had our beef in it, and then tonight had ground steak, and of course some vegetables. I mean, every bit of that was ours. So we go through so much of our meat. So it's always good for us to keep that flowing pretty heavy. Thanks, Marvel Homestead. We are definitely working the land. That's one thing about us. We don't do a lot of healthy videos, and the ones that we do actually have done better. I guess we should start back on it. But we do a lot of just vlogging more than anything. It seems easier for us to vlog because we're already doing those things. I guess that's one first the how-tos. You know what I've come up to understand, Little Feet, is the pigs really don't need any shelter.
Ungrateful bacon.
They don't need any shelter. So for us, we just don't even do it. We had shelter for the pigs, and they never slept in it. They slept outside it. Every once in a while, they'd go in it. So now we don't worry about it. I do have an idea for a cool shelter, though.
I was a little concerned when like the hurricanes were coming through, and we had the little tiny. I mean, the first one that come through, they were like 2 days old. Y'all, that's like 1.5 pound little pig. I was really worried about them. But they were kind of up there on the hill, and Peppa is a really, really good mama. I think she's even better of a mom this time than she was last time. So I was a wee bit concerned that they didn't have anything to go under just because they're so little. Now the bigger ones, I'm just kind of like, if the cows can stand out in it and the other animals can stand out in it, the pigs will be fine. But the babies is what I was more concerned about, just getting wet. It was I wasn't cold, but it was kind of cool. And there was a lot of wind and just stuff falling out of the trees. They're under the trees. I was a little concerned, but they have done great. And I think Peppa is a really good mama. She really takes care of them. So.
And Douglas Saturday, yeah. We're going to our goal is to build another barn over on the other side, kind of an entrance, and that's going to be double as a store, plus also a little petting area.
Because I would have loved to have put her in a stable for her to have her babies.
So it's going to be more stables for animals, for hurricanes and things like that, but really it's going to double as the petting zoo for our new venture next year. So I think people will like that because people come to the farm now. Our kids, kids come over, and Aiden runs on our farm. We have our cross country team. They'll come run on our farm. So when they're able to do that, a lot of times they'll go and they'll spend time watching the pigs or watching the turkeys. The turkeys blow everybody's mind, I think, just because they're so pretty and they're strutting. So I think
the ducks are pretty too.
Yeah, the ducks are just, I love hearing the ducks more than anything. They're unbelievable.
Our baby ducks that y'all saw us buy several weeks ago,
they're huge.
They are already so big. I was telling Aiden today when I forgot to water. I was gonna water some of the raised bed stuff out there today, and I got distracted with having 9 kids in the house and forgot. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, the ducks. When I walked out with him earlier, because we had turnip greens tonight, and I went out at lunch to pick them so I could get them washed and go ahead and get them on and cooking. And when I walked past the ducks, I was like, golly, those ducks are so big. We're going to have to move those in with the other ducks before long, because they're like 3 times the size of those meat birds. They are so big.
Tiffany Taylor, not opposed to eating the ducks. We're really wanting more of the duck eggs and the sustainable life source. We've enjoyed duck eggs more probably than chicken eggs when we have them. And we've found that they may even be more resilient in their laying capabilities, because chickens are moody, and I know most of y'all have chickens. Our chickens have gotten moody, and then they molt, and then they've gotten moody. So as much as we love our chickens, these ducks, they love water. So I mean, it's not like when the other day when these hurricanes were coming through. I promise you,
they were
no
just out there
duck.
playing.
Yeah, there were both sets of ducks. No ducks were underneath anything. Man, they are literally just going around having a blast, and it never stopped them. So we're really excited about that.
Do y'all eat pork?
Eat pork. I don't. Rebecca Stanley, is that? Are you talking about pork or I don't know what pork is?
Which we've been talking about pigs.
Yeah,
So obviously
we eat a lot of pork if that's what it is. Rehab life, our turnips was phenomenal. So
yes, they were good. We have to get DE on them tomorrow or something because there are worms and caterpillars and
on the turnips.
Okay. And I mean like lots of them.
You talking about a pokey weed? We call it a pokey weed here at
and aphids.
All over them.
So we've got
some of that unrealistic stuff too.
We've got to do something or we're going to lose all of them. They're on our big ones, not small ones.
Hey Karen, how are you? We've been praying for y'all as y'all kind of walk through everything, Karen. So I just so you know that. Kim, I've duck hunted, but duck hunting for me it just costs too much because we don't have a place to hunt really here. We'll see some little wood ducks here and there, but pretty much we have to drive off to go duck hunting. Rebecca Stanley, if we do, there are some pokey weeds around here, but I don't know if that's what you're talking about because ours are like poison people.
Salad.
I don't know what that is. Other than
I don't think we've ever heard of that.
We have a pokey weed, and it looks like almost like it's a fake elderberry. Is what a lot of people don't even know what they're doing. But people use them as dyes and things like that. They're actually poisonous here. So I don't know if that's what that's what you're talking about. Stepping back in Kentucky, we grew so much radish last year. We just realized, what are we going to do with all this radish? Mm-hmm. So we didn't even grow it this year. Or that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah.
They were good, but it's just like, geez, how much radish can you eat?
I did put a turnip root in our greens tonight. Yeah. Last time I put it wasn't the bone, it was just a piece of ham steak because I was cooking it for breakfast that morning. But I thought they were both really good.
Stepping back in time in Kentucky. Okay, yeah. So for instance, we do the same thing. We don't mess with the pokey weed or I mean we just cut them down. Actually they kind of crowd a lot of our fields.
Love radishes in my salad. We did. I think the only time that we really used them was when we would take them and really shred them up into the salad, and that was about the only time we ever used them.
I'm good with or without them. They're nothing spectacular to me. We started a few years ago just saying we're going to grow exactly what we're going to eat, and that's what y'all saw in the fall planting video. We grew lettuce, greens, broccoli, lettuce, greens, and broccoli, and then we have some onions and carrots, and that's really all we eat when it comes to fall.
I had to buy carrots the other day because we ran out, and I was like, ugh.
I can't believe we had to buy carrots. That shows we went through a lot of it. We do a lot of seasoning with carrots, though. We don't have a lot of Johnson grass here. I wish we did. I mean, excuse me. I'm glad we don't, but I wish we didn't have the ones we have. Our invasive grasses are like we have, of course, the pokey weed. We have popcorn trees. Now, popcorn trees are beautiful when they're out, like around our pond. But we have a lot of popcorn trees that like want to pop up in the fields. Yeah, and that's not good for us. And then we have now crabgrass is basically invasive, and so is plantains. But both of those are actually really good, and cows will eat them. So I'm not worried about that.
Roasted radishes are our substitute taters. That's pretty cool. No, we've not ever had them roasted.
Kevin in the woods.
I did some sweet potato.
Almost like a roasted sweet potato log or something.
Yeah, they were like the long, skinny ones that just didn't fill out to like a big fat full potato. And I did like just cut them in half and put a honey glaze on them and oiled them down and put some red bell pepper, yellow, orange pepper. I don't remember what was one of the ones that we grew in the was it the pepper? What was orange out there that we grew? The peppers. orange bell. I don't know what it was, the technical name for it, but I had some dehydrated some of those and put those on top and roasted those up.
They were really good.
They were really good. Needs to do a video. Turnip greens. Can't eat turnip greens without cornbread though. So if I fix turnip greens,
a little sweet cornbread.
And we'll have to show y'all how to fix cornbread. I need to come to your house. You know, it's weird because I've had the most people say, I want to come to your house and let you teach me this, or I want to learn how to do that. And I actually did several soap making videos at the house, which
soap making classes.
Yeah, what I say?
Videos.
I meant classes. And that was pretty neat to do. That was fun to do, to teach other people how to make soap, like here.
We love cornbread. We eat cornbread with everything.
So try them roasted. Everybody's saying try them roasted. That's the thing to
do. Thank you, Miss Rebecca.
Yes, thank you. That's super sweet. Cornbread and beans. Yeah, we like cornbread with peas. We like cornbread with soups. We like cornbread. You cannot have turnips without cornbread.
That's right, North Star Prep Center. Yes. We talked about roasting radishes and never did. We just ate them raw. And that's probably why we didn't like them that
much. That's right. I have Prager brain a whole lot, Miss Kathy. More than I like to admit, actually.
I think we've just been so nuts around here that we've lost our mind half the time. I do too. See, I like spice, so everything's spice. Misty has taken most of all our peppers, and all we do is we just simply will take all our peppers and just really dry them. Just get them to a point, dehydrate them, and dry them with seed because we like them. I like them hot if I'm gonna put them in anything. So I've gotten to where now Shelby, I literally will put that on everything. So it's been really nice for us to be able to just, like tonight, we put in our turnips and whatever else. They did, and I did. Now, personally, I like turnip greens, but if I'm going to eat greens, I'd rather eat collard greens. That's my favorite.
I like them all. I think they're, as long as I don't have cornbread with them.
Our kids are not fond of them at all, but we love them.
Mexican cornbread.
Thanks, our
Colby probably is more fond of Mexican cornbread than I will eat it, but it's not any more special than regular cornbread to me.
No problem, Shelby. We love collards as well.
Cooking classes at church. Eat good and praise the Lord. That's right.
We
Do you put bacon fat in them? Yes.
Yes, we do. What we've done though is now we keep all bacon grease.
It's it is a natural fat.
Yep. And see what's even better is now because of our pigs, all our hams, we've got ham hocks, we've got hams, we've got bacon cutlets, chunks of stuff that's just off our hogs. So we can utilize those a lot more. Yes, we can render them down. Or definitely turnips or beans or peas or anything.
Especially bacon grease. Yeah. I don't think I've ever cooked them without using some bacon grease, like a tablespoon of bacon grease. And it is a natural fat. I mean, I won't say it's as healthy as the fats you get from the cream in your milk or like the butter when I make butter and stuff, but it is still a source of natural fat. I mean, it's not like pouring vegetable oil in a pan and dropping french fries down in it.
Deborah,
with
collards, llamas, and peas are nasty. They're the best thing on our farm. We eat enough pink eye purple hull and lady peas. I don't know if you've ever ate lady cream peas. If you've never ate them, you better find them right now and go eat them because they are phenomenal. Lady peas
are a light,
very delicate, I would say, green pea.
When most people, I would think, when they think of pea, they think of like
a dark pea,
peanut taste, almost like a peanut. You would compare it to like peas, peanut kind of taste. But a lady pea has a very unique. It's very unique because Colby, like you said, it's very delicate, but it's also very clean tasting.
Oh, it's so good.
Which makes it so much different to me than any other pea or bean I've ever ate.
Yeah, if you have not tried lady peas, they're called cream peas or lady cream or cream lady peas.
I've never heard of lady peas.
Phenomenal.
Shelby, you should be able to find some at our local market basket in town, and the state capitol has a huge market basket up there, and they have them as well there. We have gotten, what are those big huge bags called?
Just bushel bags of peas. We have grown lady peas, but it's hard for us to find seed for lady peas, and they tend to not grow good here in our soils. So that's really the only pea that we actually have to buy. And we buy them raw. I mean, we buy them to where they're not cooked. They're usually blanched or raw. And we have to pick them up usually on certain times. You can't hardly find them. But they are phenomenal. When I find them, we go nuts and buy way too much.
Y'all have market basket there. I thought y'all. Yeah, we have only in Texas. We do have market baskets.
And then we have before crazy COVID this happened, but we also do. We have Friday markets in downtown, and then Tuesday markets afternoons for markets. So that's what we want to develop though with our farm, with our kind of our fall farm. I don't know what you want to call it. Just our pumpkin patch. We want to make a fall area. People tend to get excited about farming and pumpkins and all that good stuff around this time of year. So that's what we want to do, and be able to put a lot of fall product into that and make it like a little market basket here too.
Yeah, Shelby, I cook them the same way, and you better call before you go. I would not make a special trip. If you're going to be in town, then swing by. But before you make a special trip, I would definitely call, because they are very, they're like very seasonal.
Quit yawning. And they're a hot commodity.
Quit yawning. I know, I started it. Every time I sit down and get still, it makes me sleepy. I don't get to sit down. I mean, in the afternoons or at nights is about the only time I sit down. And when I do, usually Jennings is telling me pee-pee potty. So I get up like every 30 minutes. So I don't get to just like sit down and not do anything.
What's funny is I can literally drink all this coffee. There's been times where you get so tired that I can literally set the coffee next to me
and fall asleep.
Coffee does nothing for me.
We have Saturday market basket, unfortunately, and it's really small.
Our spring Friday early market is big. It's really big here. And what's so unique now? It's not the organic. It's not the organic fresh market farms as much as it's the conventional farms. We were kind of us, and there's probably two more families that would be, I would say. Kristen right next to us.
Maybe three.
There's probably three that's organic,
and then one half and half,
and then the rest are more conventional farming. And don't get me wrong, if you're eating fresh turnips from them, then don't get me wrong, it's way still better than getting them imported from California.
Or Mexico.
We were still kind of weird because we grew everything organically. So when we're at the market, everybody looks at our stuff like, man, this stuff looks like they're terrible gardeners. Yes, Kim Winkler. That's what we actually, our biggest project. We always say we have big projects all year, and we have got so many big projects always going. But this year was really our pines getting cut out and making new pastures. This next summer project is going to be getting the farm ready for the fall festival style October. I don't know what we're going to call it. I can't ever think of what I'm actually saying. The pumpkin patch. And we're going to plant some fall corn back there. Our area grows great fall corn, but it's not going to be really for us to harvest as much as we're going to try to make a fall maize out of it. I think we're going to use some of our hayfield to do it, because to be honest with you, we may not need as much as we thought.
I told him he was going to have to be in charge, because I was going to have a toddler and a tiny little tot to keep up with, so he'd have to be in charge of all that.
It's going to be nice though, because this year we're fully meat sustainable, and pretty much all vegetable sustainable, other than like the lady peas that we want, or like if we're out of season on our lettuces. But what's been cool is that if we can build that petting style zoo, it almost becomes a way that we can sell our pork and our cattle. I mean, our steers. So it allows us to be able to kind of have a twofold operation where people are coming to pet the animals. But if for some of those people say, you know what, I'd love to have some pork, or it allows us to open a new avenue of saying, well, this is for sale and a pork share. So it allows us to kind of have
we were thinking we were going to be able to sell some of our chicken that we butchered back this last time.
We eat too much chicken.
But our family just went through it so fast to where when we killed them and we opened the freezer, we were like, okay, we're not selling any. Because our freezer's down to literally, it was like a handful.
Yeah.
So we were hoping that was going to kind of give us a feel for pricing and if you're
for butchering a lot of chickens, 100 at a time or so, you can make some money on chickens. But if you're saying I want to be able to provide pork share, chicken share, meat share, cattle share, your best opportunity is going to be pig, then steers, then chickens. Pork is going to be the quickest. Chickens is going to be quick, but not as much money, and then steers going to take the longest, which allows you to make a lot more money on it, though.
Rehab Life talks about having a hayride. Hayrides are not just common there. Hayrides are a big thing here, too.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Just about every fall fest activity that's around our area, you're going to have a hayride.
But here we have so much hay, and so many people with random tractors and trailers. That's like everybody's got a hayride. That's just a common thing. I think every church does a hayride here, too, so. That's not
one
good.
Year we thought that Aiden was he went through a season of a few years of every October he would break out in whelps. He did it for years, and I could not figure out what was wrong with him. And probably after the second or third year, it was right after a hayride. We had gone to a church activity that night, and the next day he woke up and he was covered in whelps again. And I was like, it's the hay, it's the hay. It was the hay he sat on. But then he did it again several weeks later. We were not around any hay. It was not. So I don't know. He ended up outgrowing it, thankfully. He's not broke out in those whelps in years. But we went through a series of several years where every fall he would just break out in whelps. It was pretty weird. I actually took him to the doctor one time and they were like, it's just something he's allergic to. Don't worry about it. And I was like, so we shouldn't try to find out what he's allergic to. But anyway, he's outgrown it. So we're glad of that.
So I know we're kind of getting close to an end, but I want y'all to think. I want y'all to look at our new video coming up. It's going to be a fun video. It kind of shows, again, the storm and some of the damage we've had and how we worked through it, but also a great kind of end to it as we talk about sustainable. So hope y'all will watch that. And Rehab Life, that's probably right. It could have been a chemical use. That's why, again, we try to keep chemicals away from our farm.
Because we don't want our cows eating that.
No, we don't, because we eat our cows.
And drink their milk.
Yep, definitely. But anyways, watch the video tomorrow. It's going to be a great video. It should come out around lunch or so. We were trying to get it out Tuesday. It just did not work. Aiden had was that the day that Aiden had a run? No, I think it was Monday. We just couldn't. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday. So we could not get it done. So it's actually done. So we'll put it out tomorrow.
You are what you eat. You nailed it. You are what you eat.
And I was trying to get anything else we have coming out. We're building fence, so we'll have a video on that. What other videos we have coming out?
I don't know what all you said because I've been reading, but I'm super excited that y'all are going to see what's new on the farm.
Yeah, it's on tomorrow's video. So there's something new on the farm that we'll just keep our times going. So I don't know how other way to say it. But no, we have some great videos coming up. Really more on the fields, on the winter forage. You'll see some hay. So it's gonna be good.
Kim says, "I am chocolate." I feel you there.
All right. Anything else you can think of?
I don't think so.
This became like a soap and turnip green day, huh?
I guess you talk about what you do.
Never stops here. So hopefully we'll have a complete fence very soon. So we got some videos on it coming out. So we're excited about that. and I'm excited about the new edition. It's gonna be good to have. So, all right, guys, thank y'all so much.
Y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.